Hey guys, welcome back this week. I'm looking forward to continuing this series that we started a few weeks ago about finding great investment properties. Now, I already spoke to you in previous videos about the importance of creating a foundation and establishing criteria for all of the properties that you will consider assessing and appraising as they come across your desk. And then we moved on to talk about one of the first ways of sourcing a great investment property, and that is by simply more effectively using the online search portals. Now, too many people go on and start just haphazardly searching, but if you create a profile and then have your criteria to assess all of the properties that come into your inbox after you have created a profile, it will save you so much time and hassle and stress. It's a lot more hands-on and a lot more work involved in doing it that way, but it is a great way to get started, and that's exactly how we got started. So today's next tip in how to source great properties is to do something that many people might not have thought of. So you might have heard of the term direct to vendor, and that's exactly what I'm going to be talking about here. So the idea is to go directly to the vendor or the landlord or the owner of whatever the property is that you are most interested in. Now, all of us in our day-to-day commute or in our day-to-day goings about, going to the supermarket, going to pick up the kids from school, going to visit friends, we see perhaps properties that sort of pique our interest for whatever reason. And if we don't do that, then perhaps now is a good time to start. So don't waste that time walking about town and going about town, whether you're cycling, walking, driving, etc. Start looking for opportunities or things that might be opportunities, properties that you might be interested in. And if you're already doing that, keep doing it. And then once you've identified the properties that you are interested in that do sort of spark something for whatever reason, and they, at least on the face of it, seem to hit all of or some of your criteria, then you can go direct to vendor. We have had some pretty good success on our bigger development sites going direct to vendor because sometimes you don't know what people's situations are, and you do, in many cases, whenever possible, want to try to get to a property before it's been on the open market, whether it's a residential or commercial or a big development site. There are often advantages to going direct to the vendor because then you're negotiating directly with the person who has the decision-making authority. So, going direct to vendor, identify the properties that you would be interested in, and then what you can do is literally send them a letter. It could be slipping them a letter through the door, through their letterbox, mailing them a letter in the post. But I know people from Chicago to London to everywhere in between who have used this effectively to either buy their own home or to buy an investment property. So it does work. Big caveat here, as with everything in property, and perhaps you'll hear this from other people as well, it is a numbers game. So it's not just sending one letter to one person and then that turns into a magical deal. It might happen, and that's great if it does, but it is a numbers game. I'm looking at our board just for the past couple of months, and having sent almost 300 letters, that has resulted in 10 phone calls, and at least in this instance, 0 deals. But I know this is a numbers game, and I know from other experiences that sending 10 letters has yielded 1 deal. So you won't be able to predict it. It is a numbers game. Don't try to overthink it or give up just because it doesn't seem to be working in the first month or in the first 6 months even. It is a long-term play, and it is a numbers game. So if the statistics are sort of accurate from other industries, at every stage in that funnel, you'll get fewer and fewer people until you actually get a potential client or a deal. So, I think it's something like 10% drops out at every level. So however many you start out with the top, however many letters you send, the number of responses are an order of magnitude less, and then the number of conversations that you have will be an order of magnitude less than that, and then the number of properties that actually seem to have some legs and are worth proceeding with will be less than that, and then the ones that you negotiate will be less than that, and then the ones that finally come out the very end will be even less than that. So, open your eyes, Notice what's happening around you in your neighborhood or in the neighborhoods in which you want to invest, whether it's for your own home or for an investment home or an investment property. Start seeing what is out there in your day-to-day just goings about town. And you never know what will happen if you approach the vendor directly or the owner directly, because they might not be a vendor yet. They might not know that they want to sell. So I hope that was helpful. As I said, it is a numbers game. It's true with the first tip I provided as well, looking at properties on Rightmove and Zoopla, or on whatever online search portal you have available in your town. It is a numbers game. You'll need to look at a lot of properties. You'll need to appraise a lot of properties. You'll need to view a lot of properties before you find that sort of one that's worth proceeding with and worth investing in. But these are now 2 ways of sourcing that you have in your quiver. First is using the online search portals, and the second is going direct to vendor. I will be following up with 2 more tips, so please come back to find out the other 2 tips on how to source potentially great investment properties, and I would look forward to speaking to you again in the coming weeks. Please subscribe using the red subscribe button there or there, and I will look forward to talking to you again soon. Bye.